Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Street Signs Storytime. And this one, well, it's pretty sweet because it's the sweetest road potentially in New York. The legend of Sweet Road in Morley, New York. And they say that every street sign has a story, but some they have a legend. In the quiet town of Morley, New York, there's a road with a name that sounds like something straight out of a candy store. Sweet Road. But don't let the name fool you. This isn't a road paved with sugar and spice, no. This is a story behind Sweet Road that has a pretty big mystery, a little bit of some rebellion, and a whole lot of sweetness gone wrong. Let's jump into the legend of Sweet Road, because our story, it's going to take us back to the early 1900s, when a man named Henry, who they called Hank Sweet, ran a thriving maple sugar business just outside of Morley. Hank wasn't just any maple syrup producer, though. His syrup was legendary. They say one drop of it on a pancake can make a grown man weep with joy. Travelers from all over, they made their way to a sugar shack, desperate to get their hands on the liquid gold. But what made Hank's syrup so different? Some, they say he had a secret ingredient. But then others, in all small towns, they started to talk, and they even whispered that he had a deal with the devil, trading his soul for the perfect maple formula. But the truth? It was much, much weirder. One cold March morning, Hank stumbled upon an underground spring on his land. This wasn't an ordinary water source. The water had a strange golden hue and actually smelled faintly of vanilla and cinnamon. Thinking he had struck some kind of natural flavor jackpot, Hank started using the water to make his syrup, and suddenly his product went from amazing, well, frankly, to otherworldly. Word quickly spread, and soon the big syrup companies, yes, big syrup is real, people, and they wanted in. They tried buying him out. They even started to threaten him. They even bribed local officials to seize his land. But Hank, he was a stubborn man, and he refused to sell. But then one night, his entire operation mysteriously burned to the ground. Some say it was a freak accident, but others believe it was the work of those syrup tycoons trying to keep their monopoly intact. Either way, Hank vanished that night, and some say he went into the forest. Some others, they say he went right into the ground itself, forever tied to the maple trees that he loved dearly. Now with Hank gone, the townsfolk wanted to honor his memory, so they renamed the road that led to his sugar shack, Sweet Road. But to this day, people swear that on certain chilly mornings when the fog's just rolling in, you can still smell the faint scent of maple syrup in the air. And I even heard if you leave a pancake out on the road overnight, well, let's just say it's always gone by morning. Fun fact break! Morley, New York edition. All right, before we get back to the story, let's take a Sweet Road detour and talk about some real facts about Morley, New York. Morley is home to Char's Bar. If you haven't been to Char's Bar in Morley, are you even living? They got their famous pizza rolls, and they're legendary, and they serve up some of the best food in the North Country and the coldest drinks. Seriously, if you ever stop by, grab an order of pizza rolls, you can thank us later. Hey, maybe even mention that Beardlaw sent you. I think they'll know who that is. There's a historic Morley Bridge. Did you know that Morley is home to one of the oldest iron bridges in the region? Well, no ghost stories are officially tied to it yet. Locals say it makes the perfect backdrop for an eerie late-night walk, or maybe even an Instagram photo. Morley's small, but it is mighty, with just a few hundred residents. That's probably being graceful. It is a classic small town where everybody knows everyone. And if you stay too long at Char's, they'll definitely know your drink order too. All right, let's jump back to the legend. So what happened to good old Hank Sweet? He should be a country name. Maybe that's my new country name. I can't sing country. Either way, some people believe that Hank, he escaped to Canada, start a new life in the underground maple market. Others claim his spirit still wanders the woods, watching over the trees, making sure nobody steals his secret. But you guys want to know the weirdest part? In 2013, during a routine soil test along Sweet Road, scientists, they actually found traces of an unknown naturally occurring vanilla cinnamon compound, the same flavor that Hank's syrup was actually famous for. Coincidence? Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe Hank Sweet really did find the world's magical maple syrup recipe. And that, my friends, is why Sweet Road in Morley, New York is one of the strangest and sweetest roads in the state. Have a road name you want us to investigate next? Drop it in the comments. And if you feel generous, give this a like, share it to your friend, your mom, your grandma, your uncle, maybe even to the owners of Char's Bar. Hi, Uncle John and Aunt Cheryl. But either way, we can't thank you enough for taking some time, checking out this sweet story in this maple mystery. But either way, we'll be back next week with another Street Signs story time. That's all I got. Okay. Bye-bye.